Welcome everybody to the next episode of the Cannabis Review. I'm delighted to be joined in this episode by Dr. Shabnam Sarshar, who's a Ph.D. in Pharmaceutical Biology and Phytochemistry from the University of Munster in Germany. How are you keeping today, Sarshar?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much for having me here. Yeah, I'm actually today is very good. I'm just about to go on my vacation, so it's a perfect time to talking about cannabis and women health.
Excellent. I'm delighted to have you on. I know you're a very busy lady. So can you maybe give everybody a quick little overview of your position in the industry and your experience to date?
So actually, I started in cannabis industry, like to research cannabis industry for ADHD. That was basically my starting point about like getting to know how cannabis can be used as a medicine. And upon that, I moved to Berlin. I started to work in a sanity group as a medical advisor. And after that, we founded a new company. The name is FemCan. And actually in FemCan, we're focusing on, let's say, cannabis contained functional cosmetics and like hopefully in near future, functional nutritions for female health.
Okay, very interesting. And can we start on the first topic, which is, I know there's a lot of female listeners and a lot of powerful women in the cannabis industry already. Cannabis for women's health. Can you maybe give everybody an overview of how cannabis is applicable to women's health and what the potential benefits are?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I think any living organism with endocannabinoid system can eventually be like cannabis can be potentially beneficial for that organism with endocannabinoid system, but for female health is especially beneficial because endocannabinoid system is ubiquitous in female reproductive system. And if you look at many anecdotal, and I have to open a parenthesis here, unfortunately, there is very less good quality clinical study out there to analyze and examine the effect of cannabis on female health. Most of what we know is that basically on old texts from traditional herbal medicine from different parts of the globe, and the anecdotes and surveys and observational studies. So having said that, there are a lot of like good observational studies and good surveys that shows cannabis can help different symptoms of women health. So let's say menstruation pain and cramps, endometriosis, which is a huge topic when it's come to cannabis. Also, it smoothes the transition from premenopause, like the whole menopausal transition, and it also very much helps with orgasm and sex. So basically, cannabis can not completely close, but can, how do you call it, like tighten the gap in orgasm. Like, so you see that from desire to labor, cannabis can be helpful for female health. That's like in a nutshell.
Very interesting. And are we talking about targeting the endocannabinoid system with different blends and formulations that become products, or is it a specific edibles or beverages? What's the optimum absorption method for a consumer?
Super interesting question. And again, unfortunately, at the moment, especially like in Germany, we don't have that much of a diversity when it comes to different products. Yeah, okay, we have extracts and we have the flowers, but when you look from the female physiological perspective, what can be super helpful are vaginal suppositories. I mean, that there is like one company in Germany, Laia, who put that effort to bring that to the market. So they have a let's say pre-made kits that pharmacies can make the life of pharmacists easier to bring that kind of application form into the customers and into the patients. But other than that, there is not a huge diversity. And of course, we have to look and we have to see what kind of cannabinoid ratios, what kind of formulation would be beneficial for which purpose. So sometimes you might need an eatable, beside you might need a topical application, or you might need a vaginal application. So it really depends which kind of symptoms you want to target. Are you searching for short-term effect, long-term effect? and like there are many there's many variants that you have to keep in mind when you develop a drug for female health and female need. So that's why there is a huge potential out there to design and develop products specified for female needs. And I mean, from one so it's like that. It's two sides of the coin. Is that from one side I'm like sad to see, just a banal example. I mean, I prefer to take edibles, and I prefer to take vaginal suppositories instead of like inhalation, or instead of like smoking. That's matches much better to my needs and my physiology, let's say. But yeah, there is no product that I can access to. It's sad that it's not, but also it's interesting for us as people who are like, let's say, are working in this industry, to see this potential. So that's a huge, a nice space for us to move into and to develop product for.
Yeah, it seems to be that these formulations and the specific use case of these formulations are the big advantage and the big exciting opportunity that's coming over the next 5 to 10 years. Speaking of huge opportunity, can we talk a little bit about the FemCan story? Can you maybe give everybody a little overview of why you set this company up, what the main objectives are, and any timelines that consumers might need to know about?
Yeah, so basically we started FemCan for different reasons. So first I shortly say something about FemCan. So FemCan is fem and can as cannabis, and can as yes we can. And the tagline for FemCan is that the home of herbal remedies. Remedies is female remedies, basically. So I come with a background of traditional herbal medicine, and the way that herbal medicine is some kind of, I don't want to say suppressed or ignored, but you know, herbal medicine always comes as secondary. Also, when you look at cannabis in medicine, you when you get your cannabis prescribed, you have to show the doctors that the doctor has to show to the insurances that all the other ways of treatments are done. So it's like they tried the second, the first and the second, let's say, a conventional treatment, and then cannabis can be prescribed, which I think herbal medicine can be super beneficial. And why they should come at second or third, maybe they should come parallel with the first line treatment. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is that we want to focus on female health, because I mean, when you look at the people who support cannabis, I mean, women are less likely to support cannabis. Women are less likely to try cannabis if cannabis get legalized, and all of that come from like global surveys. Like the one that I'm giving you, it's just published by a Canadian university. I cannot remember the name, but it's just published. It's 2023 publication. And women also have more negative attitude to consumption of cannabis. And that's, for me, as a scientist, as a person who know how cannabis can be beneficial for different female health, like, let's say, issues, and generally for like the well-being. It shouldn't be just medical. It could also be adult use and recreational, just for general well-being. As a person who know that and have experience with that's a little bit hard on me, because that negative attitude mostly come from social cultural backgrounds, like this typical good girl, bad girl. If a girl smoke cannabis or do cannabis or any kind of drugs for that matter, is bad, but it's more, let's say, acceptable and common for men. This kind of how do you call it? This kind of cultural, let's say, pushbacks is something that we as a woman in cannabis industry should try to overcome by talking about that, by just put more light on this subject. That yeah, okay, if you use cannabis consciously and cautiously, could be more beneficial as harmful. And it's not, we should also, when we go to some kind of like exhibitions and trade shows, you also see that maybe like 5 to 10% maximum of the participants are women, the rest are men, especially like in Germany. I'm talking about here. And I know that it's like changing little by little, but we need more voice. We need more voice to talk about how the benefits and how do you call it, take that stigmatize, because still there is a stigma around this topic, take that stigmatized view out of it. So basically harm reduction way of communication. So that's why as FemCan, we solely want to focus on female health, the herbs that how do you call it, affect our endocannabinoid system, because again, not only cannabis affect our endocannabinoid system. Another example is kava. Kava, amazing plants, has also more, how do you call it, affinity, let's say a stronger affinity even to CB1 receptor than like cannabis. So all of that said, we want to bring endocannabinoid system, put light on endocannabinoid system and work with the plants that affect this endocannabinoid system, and also destigmatize the cannabis in general. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And one of the big hurdles you mentioned there is the R&D, the actual scientific papers aren't completed yet. Do you see Germany opening up now with a larger scope and remit to be able to do these scientific trials, hopefully over the next coming 12 to 24 months?
To be honest, I think 12 to 24 months is a little bit like optimistic. I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed with all of these delays and how do you call it? They made a huge bureaucratic monster around cannabis. So definitely, you know that we now the government announced 2-pillar project. One pillar is that self and communal communication with some kind of a social clubs, and the second pillar is that to it's a very limited pilot project to some shops that they control the whole supply chain. Okay, these stuffs are good, are super positive, because again, it helps a lot to take away a stigma from this topic from cannabis, and hopefully hopefully now universities come much more on board to do research. Also, companies should put more effect and put more how do you call it, put resources on R&D and clinical studies than just trying to bring another new kind of flower, which is good. The diversity in the product is good, but we also need some kind of we need like solid clinical studies and observational studies to be able to develop good products. So that is, I mean, I hope, because a couple of years ago when I asked one of my university professors, hey, do you want to start some project with like CBD and ADHD? And that was just CBD, not cannabis. And the reply was, oh, no, do you want to ruin my reputation? But now I see that the research in this direction also in universities get more and more. So yeah, all in all, it's going in the right direction. I wish for a faster moves than it's like a slow moves. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. The entrepreneurial mindset wants everything to move fastly, so you can realize your ideas. It's been fantastic talking to you, Shabnam. For anybody who's not following Shabnam on LinkedIn, I highly recommend you go and connect with her. And for those who want to know more about FemCan, the website is below and it'll be in all the descriptions wherever you watch and listen to this. Shabnam, you go off and enjoy your holidays now, and hopefully we get to touch base again next year and we can get an update on where all the progress is.
Definitely. I would be happy to do that.
Fantastic. You have a great day, and thanks everybody for watching.
Thanks.